Thank you so much, Katlego. Yes, last week, our health segment, we chatted to Dr. Darren Green about antibiotics. Now, we only touched on the idea of antibiotics resistance, and because it's something that is becoming a huge issue worldwide, we decided to bring this topic back. So this morning, we'd like you to join in this conversation. Our telephone number, 0839133728, to ask any questions, or if you have a comment for our expert this morning. We'll be very privileged to be joined by Dr. Angela Dromosky. She's a specialist in pediatric infectious diseases at the University of Stellenbosch. Doctor, thanks for joining us this morning. No, you're welcome. This conversation started last week where a lot of viewers, I guess, missed out. We want to touch on it again. Just quickly, antibiotic resistance, what are we talking about?
So antibiotic resistance happens when an antibiotic loses its ability to kill or control the growth of bacteria. So even in the presence of the right amount of antibiotic, the bacteria continue to multiply and can make you sick. And the consequences of this for an individual patient are very serious. They can have prolonged hospitalization. You have a doubled risk of dying from your infection if it's antibiotic resistance. And the problem has become so serious that it's been recognized by the World Health Organization and others as a global public health threat.
Immediately, I asked the question, but how does one become resistant to the bacteria? I mean, what causes it? Are we using too much of it?
Certainly, overuse and misuse of antibiotics are a huge problem around the world. And what happens is, as you treat with an antibiotic, very quickly you destroy the susceptible bacteria, but what is left are the resistant ones. And then those are free to multiply and be transmitted to other patients and cause ongoing infection. And most infection and resistance is in fact caused by genetic mutations. And the scary part is bacteria have mobile DNA elements called plasmids, which can even be shared by completely different species of bacteria. And these genetic changes then cause something like an increased cell wall, permeability issues. They can pump the antibiotic out. They can produce enzymes which degrade the antibiotic, and all of these reduce the effectiveness of the antibiotic in treating infection.
How are we contributing to this problem? Because I always think the average person, we don't have access to this, right? So what are we doing wrong?
Sure. Well, we're all consumers of antibiotic from time to time when we get ill. The first problem is inappropriate use. So going to your doctor demanding an antibiotic when you have flu or viral bronchitis, we know that there's absolutely no role for an antibiotic in treating those conditions. And then the second part, even when an antibiotic is appropriately used, the problem is you either don't take it for the complete duration of the course, you take it at the wrong times in an insufficient dose, and that's setting up the problem where you treat just the susceptible strains, but you leave the resistant strains which then breed and are transmitted further.
Are we, because I'm trying to gauge how in trouble we are, because, you know, immediately I'm thinking when you gym with people, they go, don't take antibiotics, you know, you don't want to be on it. With regards to the resistance, where are we now based on 10 or 20 years ago? In fact, Doctor, we're going to deal with that question right after this. We have to go shortly. But if you have a question to Dr. Angela right here in our studio, you're welcome to give us a call, 0839133728. We're talking about antibiotic resistance. I also want to know where we are globally compared to 10 and 20, even 30 years ago. Lots more happening on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Guys, what's coming up?